the millionaire's shocking rescue of the orphan girl left behind by her stepmom on the road. It was just past midnight on a lonely stretch of highway, dark, empty, with only the hum of distant traffic and the restless wind whipping through cracked dry weeds. Marcus Hale's sleek black SUV rolled to a stop beside a small figure curled up by the side of the road. The air was thick, heavy with silence broken only by the faint sound of a child's ragged breathing. Marcus didn't expect to find anyone out here, especially not a girl. But there she was, no older than 10, with tangled hair, dirt smudging her cheeks, eyes wide and swimming with fear. Her clothes were torn, stained with dust and dried tears. She looked abandoned, forsaken. Something inside Marcus clenched tight, a sudden punch of pain deep in his chest. His trembling fingers reached for the door handle. The night held a strange chill, mocking the gleam of his fortune. Marcus, dressed in a tailored suit that screamed success, felt shock ripple through him like an electric jolt, not from his hard-won wealth, but from the raw, desperate humanity before him. Her name was Lily, she whispered between sobs, swallowed by the night's bitterness. "They left me," her voice cracked, barely more than a breath. "My stepmom, she didn't want me anymore." Marcus's mind raced. Abandoned by a cruel woman haunted by shadows, from the stories he'd buried deep in his past, a mirror seemed to ripple between their lives. Was this just chance, or something darker? He glanced toward the horizon, where the faint glow of city lights flickered like distant guardians watching this unfolding tragedy. His heart throbbed fiercely as memories of his own broken childhood clawed back. The cold rooms, empty dinners, the suffocating silence he'd tried to escape with his empire. Marcus knelt beside Lily, offering her a warm coat from the back seat. Her small fingers clutched at his jacket, trembling with cold and fear. The connection was sudden, electric, two broken souls pulled together by fate's cruel hand. But the night was far from over. Shouts echoed from nearby, a car screeched to a stop down the road. A towering woman stormed out, face twisted with rage and hatred, the stepmother. Her eyes blazed with venom as she yelled threats that seemed to slice the cold air. Marcus felt the danger crackle beneath his skin. This woman was a storm, ready to destroy anything that stood in her way. Gritting his teeth, Marcus tightened his grip on Lily's hand. This wasn't just a rescue. It was the start of a collision between past and present, between secrets buried in his family's legacy and the darkness threatening Lily's future. Whispers of old rivalries, betrayal, and hidden fortunes tangled their paths tighter. As the stepmother advanced like a viper, Marcus's mind screamed with questions. Could he protect this fragile girl? Could they both survive the storm rising fast? The world Marcus had built on wealth and power suddenly seemed fragile, cracking under the weight of truths clawing to the surface. Lily looked up at him with terrified eyes but a flicker of hope, a silent promise that maybe this wasn't the end. The night stretched heavy and uncertain, but something hardened inside Marcus, a fierce determination sparking like a flame in the dark. Then, just as the tension reached its breaking point, Marcus's phone buzzed, an unknown number flashing on the screen. He answered, voice low, heart pounding. "Marcus, you have no idea what you've gotten yourself into." The line went silent. Questions exploded in his mind. What secrets lay buried in his family's past? How deadly was the stepmother's vendetta? And most importantly, could love and loyalty pull them through the shadows closing in? Hey, before you continue with this incredible story, I have an important warning for you. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube has removed their subscriptions without warning. Take a quick look at the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I don't want you to miss any exclusive content. And while you're there, leave that powerful like. It helps me a lot with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, what city are you watching from? I love meeting all the amazing people who are part of this community. Your participation makes a difference. Let's interact. Marcus's heart raced as that unknown voice hung in the air, heavy with unspoken threats. He glanced at Lily, eyes wide and terrified, her grip tightening on his hand. The storm felt closer now, brewing fury mingled with the past he thought he'd escaped. "Who was that?" Lily whispered, her voice shaky. "I don't know," Marcus replied, forcing calm into his voice. "But we need to get out of here." Suddenly, the furious stepmother lunged forward. "You think you can just take her from me? She's mine." Marcus shielded Lily with his body, heart pounding. "Stay behind me," he shouted, adrenaline flooding his veins. But just then, a second figure emerged from the shadows. A tall man with an ominous presence, stepping out from an old, rusty pickup truck parked at the roadside. "Sarah, back off," he said, voice low and menacing. "We don't want any trouble." The stepmother froze, her rage momentarily faltering, revealing a crack of uncertainty. "What are you doing here?" She spat, eyes darting between Marcus and the man. "Just came to collect what's rightfully mine," he said, a smirk creeping onto his face. "This little girl has some family ties she doesn't even know about." Marcus felt a chill run through him, like ice water flowing through his veins. Family ties? What did this man mean? Lily sensed the shift in energy. She looked up at Marcus, confusion swirling in her eyes. Who is he?" Lily asked, her voice barely a whisper. Before Marcus could respond, the man stepped closer, a predatory glint in his eye. "Surprised to see me, aren't you, Marcus? You should know better than to meddle in family affairs." Marcus's stomach dropped. "You? It can't be." He staggered backward, recognizing the face that felt like a specter from his past. It was an old family rival, someone he thought was gone forever, thought he had buried along with old grievances. "Let me guess," the man continued mockingly. "You thought you were the only one with connections, wealthy and powerful, but secrets, they have a way of resurfacing, don't they?" A knot formed in Marcus's gut. The man wasn't just a stranger. He was part of a hidden puzzle, pieces of his life he had fought to keep buried. "You think you can just waltz in here and claim her?" Marcus demanded, voice rising in anger. "Oh, I'm not here to claim her. Not yet," the man said, his voice dripping with malice. "But I'll ask you to consider this. Lily is more than an orphan. She's the key to a fortune lost to your family. You can play the hero all you want, but don't think I won't fight for my peace." Lily's face paled, suddenly a victim caught in a game of dangerous chess. "What do you mean?" she squeaked, her small frame trembling. The man leaned closer, a sinister smile creeping across his face. "Your stepmother isn't the only one who has plans for you, little girl. You belong to someone who's had their eye on you for a long time." Panic spread in Marcus's chest. He looked at Lily, her innocent world shattering right before his eyes. Could he protect her? The stakes had risen beyond anything he could have imagined, the danger now more profound than just a vindictive woman. The shadows were closing in, darkness swirling around them. As tensions swirled in the night, Marcus felt the weight of a legacy dragging him down, secrets entwining him tighter than ever before. What had he stumbled into? What other horrors lay ahead? The man's words hung in the air like a noose. Someone was coming for Lily, and he had to act fast. "Run!" Marcus shouted, grabbing Lily's hand, knowing time was slipping through his fingers. The night was alive with threats, and the world he thought he knew was dissolving right before him. But as they turned to flee, a piercing scream ripped through the darkness. It was the stepmother, her voice cracking. "You can't take her from me. She's mine." And that's when Marcus saw it, the flicker of an approaching car, headlights illuminating the night, and a figure stepping out. The fleeting moment felt like an omen, a haunting wave of realization crashing over him. Who was this new player? And did he just step into a trap sprung from a nightmare he couldn't escape? As they turned to flee, the piercing scream of the stepmother echoed through the night. "You can't take her from me. She's mine." The dread surged in Marcus's chest, but he pressed forward, not daring to look back. Just then, headlights cut through the darkness, illuminating the scene with a blinding glare. "Move," Marcus shouted, yanking Lily along, his heart hammering. But they didn't get far. The figure emerging from the car stopped them in their tracks. It was a woman, tall and formidable, stepping out into the night. Her features were sharp, cold, and when she spoke, it was with a voice that sliced through the chaos. "Enough," she commanded, eyes locking onto the stepmother. "This needs to end, Sarah." The tension in the air shifted. The stepmother faltered, her wrath transforming into surprise. "What are you doing here, Alina?" Fear crept into her voice, exposed in stark contrast to her previous venom. Lily's grip on Marcus tightened, confusion clouding her eyes. "Who is she?" she whispered. Alina tilted her head, taking a step closer, and the air hummed with an electricity that felt almost alive. "I'm here for the girl," she replied, voice steady, "and I won't let anyone hurt her." The stepmother's face drained of color. "You have no rights here. She's my daughter." The words hung in the air like a bad omen, but before anyone could react, Elena reached into her pocket and pulled out a folded document. This says otherwise. Lily is not just your stepdaughter, she's the rightful heir to a fortune you never knew about. An inheritance that belongs to her mother, and it's mine to protect. A wave of disbelief washed over Marcus. He felt the world tilt beneath him. What do you mean? He asked, bewildered. What is happening? They were promised things that never came to pass, Elena said, staring directly into Marcus's eyes as if trying to pull the truth from the depths of his soul. Your family didn't just hide money, they buried dark secrets, and I've come to uncover them. Marcus felt the color drain from his face. Memories of hushed whispers and frustrated arguments filled his mind, his family's reputation painted as pristine but hiding stains buried deep. What secrets? How do you know this? Elena straightened, determination hardening her features. Because I'm Lily's aunt. Her mother was my half-sister, and I've spent years tracing what your family took from us. Time froze. Marcus stumbled back, brain racing, mind ablaze with revelations. You're lying. He couldn't comprehend it. Lily tugged at Marcus's arm, confusion morphing into worry. Aunt, what does that mean? Elena let the document dangle in the air, her gaze unwavering. It means you have a family. A history that ties you to wealth, to power, she paused, scanning the darkness, and to danger. Before Marcus could process the weight of her words, an ominous rumble echoed from the direction of the approaching headlights. Another vehicle was on the verge of crashing in, colliding with the chaos they had already created. What's that? Lily asked, her voice a quiver of trepidation. As the car pulled nearer, a figure leaned out, and the night ruptured with a sudden blast. A gunshot cut through the air like a knife. Panic exploded in Marcus's chest as he turned. The stepmother screamed, but chaos reigned, blurring lines between friend and foe as figures rushed forward, the night shifting in ways he never imagined. Suddenly, everything around him felt unreal, like a dream spiraling into a nightmare. What did it all mean? Who could he trust? With a child's life hanging in the balance and chaos unraveling in front of him, Marcus knew he had to make a choice. As bullets flew and uncertainty flooded the night, Marcus realized the very foundations of who he thought he was were about to shatter. The answers lay just out of reach, but so did the safety of the girl he barely knew. The question loomed overhead, urgent and terrifying. Would he nurture this newfound bond, or would he lose everything fighting for a future he didn't yet understand? As bullets whizzed past, chaos erupted around Marcus and Lily. The stepmother's scream faded into the night as the new threat arrived. Panic surged through Marcus as he pulled Lily closer, shielding her from the onslaught. Then another gunshot rang out, followed by the sound of shattering glass. "Get down!" he yelled, adrenaline spiking. Just as they crouched behind a nearby tree, they glimpsed Elena pushing Sarah aside, her eyes darting around for cover. Time felt suspended, each heartbeat amplified in the tense silence. But then, a swift movement caught Marcus's eye. The figure in the car, the one who shot, moved out of the shadows, seeming to glide towards them. It was a woman, her gaze icy as she scanned the scene. Marcus felt a knot tighten in his stomach. Was she friend or foe? "Who are you?" he shouted, readying himself to defend Lily. Suddenly, the woman spoke, her voice smooth yet filled with authority. "I'm here for you, Marcus. We need to talk." "What do you mean?" he barked, unable to absorb her calm demeanor amidst the chaos. "I know who you are." "What you are," she replied, taking another confident step closer, gun still pointed vaguely down but ready. "And I know about Lily." Fear gripped his chest. "Stay away from her," he ordered, clutching Lily tighter, but the woman merely smirked. "You don't get it, do you? Lily's not just an orphan, she's the key to everything." "What everything?" Marcus demanded, his heart racing. He felt the weight of her words, a dark puzzle piece slipping into place, but he couldn't grasp its meaning. The woman took a breath, revealing something that sent shockwaves through Marcus. Lily's mother. She didn't just pass away, she faked her death, and Lily is not who you think she is. Marcus's mind whirled, confusion blurring his thoughts. "What are you saying? That's impossible." Just then, the woman pointed at Lily, her voice rigid. "She's not from this world. She's part of a lineage that connects to something very powerful, something that's full of secrets, secrets your family has been protecting for generations." Lily's small hand trembled in his, eyes wide with terror. "What does that mean?" she whispered, voice shaking. The woman took a step back, her expression softening momentarily. You've always known her as your sister's child, but she's your daughter, Marcus. The world tilted beneath him. Heart pounding, he searched her face for signs of deception, but found only certainty. He felt a wrenching sensation claw at his insides. Could it be true? No, no, he stammered, his breath quickening. That can't be. But the woman pressed on, urgency gripping her voice. You don't have much time. The people after her want more than just a lineage, they want power. And it's tied to your family's dark past. Lily, he cried, looking down at her trembling frame. I'm so sorry. Shock filled her eyes. You're my dad? Yes, but we need to go, he said, squeezing her hand tightly. It felt surreal. Just when he thought everything made sense, the ground shifted again. Right now, we have to focus, the woman insisted, glancing nervously toward the unfolding chaos. We need to escape. Before she could finish, another vehicle pulled up, this one marked with flashing lights. Sirens wailed, slicing through the tension like a knife. Police! The sudden arrival unsettled everyone. Elena took a step back, eyes darting. This isn't over, she hissed, retreating into the shadows. Run! Marcus yelled, yanking Lily into motion, heart hammering with urgency. Confusion mingled with fear as they raced toward the police car, uncertainty laced with the prospect of safety. But as they reached the door, the officer inside stepped out, face grim. Marcus Hale? Yes, that's me, we need help. But before he could finish, the officer raised his hand, shock sweeping across his features. You're under arrest. The world spun. What do you mean? Marcus stammered, panic seizing him. Your past has caught up with you, and it's more tangled than you realize. Glimmering lights danced in Marcus's mind as he considered the woman's revelation. Could it be true? His choices felt more like a trap now. With Lily's hand still gripped in his, he faced an uncertain future surrounded by threats. Had the truth come to light? Would they escape, or had he just stepped into a Web 2 complex to unravel? Would he still be a protector or part of the problem? Questions swarmed inside as the night continued to unfold, leaving him breathless. Marcus stared at the officer, the words blurring together in a fog of disbelief. Under arrest? For what? His voice barely rose above a whisper, desperation twinging at the edges. Your involvement in the disappearance of the girl's mother is being investigated, the officer replied, unyielding. We've had reports of your presence around suspicious activities. Lily trembled beside him, her small body quaking with fear. No, he's not a bad guy, she shouted, clutching his hand tighter. The innocence in her voice struck something deep within him, longing to protect her at all costs. Step away from the girl, another officer shouted, advancing toward him. No, wait. Marcus felt a rush of panic explode within him. He couldn't let them take her. He couldn't. But in the chaos, a snap of branches behind them drew everyone's attention. Silence fell, charged with the tension of anticipation. Suddenly, from the tree line emerged a figure. It was Elena, eyes blazing like fire. Stop, she commanded, breaking through the unfolding disaster. The officers turned their guns toward her, confusion mounting. What are you doing? Marcus yelled at her. We need to get out of here. But she ignored him, never breaking her gaze from the approaching threat. There are things you don't know, Marcus, secrets buried in lies. The truth about Lily isn't what you think. What are you talking about? He demanded, feeling his heart race. Before she could answer, a loud crack echoed like thunder. A shot rang out, piercing the air, and chaos erupted. A bystander had stepped forward, their movements too quick to comprehend. A flash of silver caught Marcus's eye. Had they brought more guns? Then another shot, this time aimed not at Marcus, but at Elena. No, he shouted, adrenaline flooding his veins as he lunged forward. But in an instant, Elena's body twisted unnaturally, collapsing to the ground like a fallen leaf. Time slowed. The sound of her breath gasping for air filled his ears, yet the world whirled around him like a vicious tornado. Lily screamed. No. Marcus knelt beside Elena, adrenaline mixing with horror. Elena, why? He gasped, his heart pounding in his chest as he cradled her head gently. Marcus, she struggled to whisper, blood seeping through her fingers. You have to understand, it's not just about her, the officer shouted, back away. But he was frozen, staring into her wide eyes, searching for answers that might slip forever from his grasp. Lily, she's not just a girl. She's your sister." Stunned silence wrapped around him, turning reality into a twisted nightmare. My, what? A chill raced down his spine. "Your mother, it's all connected. They know you were never supposed to find out. They'll come for you for her." Her voice faded like a whisper in a storm, and her eyes fluttered shut. "No, no." Panic surged within him, tearing at his chest as Alina's life drained away. Lily stared up, sobbing. What does she mean? What does that mean for me? Before he could answer, the shots resumed. A hail of voices broke into the chaos surrounding them like a storm. "Get out of here, it's not safe." Marcus surged to his feet, pulling Lily with him. "We have to go now." As they sprinted toward the police car, everything spun wildly. The very foundation of what he thought he understood shattered around him, and all that remained was fear and questions. The officer hesitated, confusion flickering in his eyes as he tried to comprehend the scene. "Where are you?" But Marcus was driven by urgency, and as he pushed past everyone, panic clawing at his throat, the shocking revelation echoed in his mind. What did this mean for them? Were they really connected in a way that could destroy everything he knew? But amidst the pandemonium, the image of Lily's innocent face overshadowed everything. Could he protect her? Would they ever truly be free? They jumped into the police car, the sirens wailing like a haunting melody, leaving questions swirling in the darkness behind them. As they sped away, the night seemed darker somehow, the shadows of secrets looming larger than ever. What else was out there waiting to be uncovered? Who would come for them next? The weight of uncertainty pressed in on him with every heartbeat, and the answers felt just out of reach. As they sped away, sirens wailing and lights flashing against the dark, a whirl of panic churned in Marcus's stomach. The night felt alive with the echoes of chaos they'd fled, yet uncertainty gripped him tighter than the seatbelt straining against his chest. He glanced at Lily, her face pale, eyes shimmering with tears. He wished he could comfort her, but his own heart was pounding too fiercely. "Are we safe?" she whispered, voice trembling. "For now," he replied, forcing calm he didn't feel. But the words stuck in his throat like a bitter pill. How could he promise her safety when everything felt so precarious? Just as they rounded a corner, headlights loomed behind them. Another car. Its acceleration threatened to consume them, a hungry predator in the dark. "Hold on," Marcus shouted, gripping the wheel. He pressed the gas, but the more he pushed, the more the cars closed in. Panic surged. "Why are they following us?" Lily cried, her small hands gripping the edge of the seat. "I don't know," he managed, sweat dripping down his back. "Just stay low." Suddenly, there was a loud bang. Metal exploded from the rear of the police car, glass flying in all directions. Marcus felt a jolt as the steering wheel wrenched in his hands. "What was that?" "I think they shot us," Lily wailed, her voice echoing the dread twisting inside him. His heart dropped. "No, no, no." The car swerved dangerously, and Marcus struggled to regain control, fighting against the grip of fear wrapping around his throat. "Just keep your head down." And then, as if time had unraveled, everything shifted. A jarring thud crashed against the vehicle as Marcus skidded to a stop on the side of the road. "Out!" Now, a voice barked from behind them, sharp and commanding. Marcus turned, eyes widening. It was the woman from before, the one who had tried to explain just moments earlier. But there was something off about her now. The calm authority had morphed into something colder, darker. "What are you doing? We're not a threat." He screamed, desperation creeping into his voice. "Get out!" She ordered again, eyes narrowed, unleashing a glint of steel that raised every hair on his body. "You need to understand the truth before it's too late." But before he could react, she lunged forward, aiming straight for Lily. "No!" Marcus shouted, throwing himself between them, instinct taking over. But as he moved, a blinding realization sliced through him like a knife. In one swift motion, she pulled back her jacket, revealing a badge, FBI. The weight of shock crashed over him. "What? You're with the FBI?" "Yes," she replied, voice steady but urgent. "You need to trust me, it's not safe." "Trust you? You shot at us." He felt his heart race. "What the hell is going on?" "Because you're at the center of something bigger than you understand. They're coming for both of you," she exclaimed. "Lily is in more danger than you realize." Lily's eyes were wide, glistening with confusion. "What do you mean?" "Marcus," the woman continued, voice lowering, "Lily is not just your daughter. She's part of a covert program designed to protect individuals with unique genetic traits. Your family, your whole legacy, is tied to this program. It's why they want her. Bile rose in Marcus's throat. But Alina said, "Whatever Alina told you is irrelevant. She was part of a different faction. They're trying to manipulate you." Her tone turned frantic. "You have to believe me." The world tilted again. Marcus felt his knees weaken as reality crashed down. No, no, his heart raced, blood pounding in his ears. A sudden commotion broke through their tense standoff. A heavy vehicle pulled up beside them, squaring off like a final showdown. Marcus squinted, recognizing the emblem on the side, a rival government agency. "Marcus Hale," a voice boomed from outside. "You need to surrender the girl." The weight of betrayal hung thick in the air. Who were the enemies? Who were the allies? His mind raced through every interaction, every word that had piled on top of another, weaving a tapestry of deception. Panic surged anew. The reality of the situation tightened around him like a vice. "Lily," he choked out, but the words felt hollow, echoing in a void of despair. "Dad," she wailed, the innocence in her voice ripping through him. An explosion rocked the ground. The air filled with cries as figures leapt from both sides, chaos erupting into a full-blown skirmish. Bullets flew, shouts echoed, and in that moment, everything Marcus thought he understood shattered into a million pieces. As smoke filled the air, the truth twisted like a knife. He was not just trying to save Lily, but uncovering a legacy riddled with betrayal that reached deep into his own bloodline. Would he stand with the one who claimed to protect her, or flee into the unknown? And then, as the haze of confusion swirled around him, a thought struck like lightning. Had he ever really known who he truly was, or what dark destiny awaited them? As chaos erupted around them, Marcus's heart raced. Bullets whizzed past, puncturing the night air with a chilling finality. He crouched by the police car, breathless, feeling the weight of the moment crush down on him. "Lily!" he cried, pulling her close. She was trembling, her small frame shaking against him. "What's happening? Why are they shooting?" Her voice was a mere whisper, filled with fear. "I don't know, but we have to stay together," he replied, a lump forming in his throat. He felt the world closing in, a suffocating pressure building. The FBI woman tried to get a grip on the situation, barking orders. "We need to figure out who's after you. They'll come for both of you." But even her voice cracked under the stress. Suddenly, a loud bang erupted, shaking the ground beneath them. A flare exploded above, lighting up the night sky. In that moment, everything froze. Through the blinding light, Marcus saw a figure emerge, seemingly unharmed by the chaos. A man in a crisp suit stepped forward, a grim smile plastered on his face. "No," Marcus whispered, disbelief gnawing at him. The man was someone Marcus recognized. Nathaniel Westwood, the family rival he thought had vanished years ago. "It's been a long time, Marcus," he said, a twisted glee dancing in his eyes. "What are you doing here?" Marcus shouted, panic surging. Lily pressed against him, squeezing his hand tightly. "What I've always done," Nathaniel replied, stepping closer, the night deepening around him like a cloak. "I'm here to reclaim what's mine." With a sharp intake of breath, Marcus felt betrayal shoot through him like a dart. "What do you mean, what's yours? Lily is just a child." Nathaniel laughed, a cold, chilling sound. "She's far more than just a child. You don't even know who she really is, do you? What are you talking about?" Marcus's throat tightened. Just then, the officer, still caught in indecision, turned to face Nathaniel. "You need to leave. This is a police matter." But Nathaniel ignored him, his sharp gaze locked onto Marcus. "You were so busy looking for answers that you missed the biggest one of all," he taunted. "Lily isn't just an innocent girl. She's the key to a power struggle stretching back generations. The legacy of our families is hers." A sinking feeling wrapped around Marcus's heart. "What do you mean?" His voice wavered, disbelief turning into dread. "She's a genetic hybrid, Marcus." Nathaniel's words cut through the air like a knife. "Created from your family's secret experiments in collaboration with mine. She has abilities, powers that belong to a lineage meant to be controlled." The world tipped on its axis. Marcus shook his head, overwhelmed. "No, that can't be true." The police officer looked stunned, glancing back and forth. "What are you saying? Lily is not just your daughter, she's a weapon." Nathaniel's grin widened menacingly. "And, believe me, there are people who will stop at nothing to reclaim her." Fear gripped Marcus. He looked at Lily, whose innocent eyes mirrored confusion and fright. "You can't trust him, he's lying." He shouted, but Nathaniel took a step closer, mock empathy in his expression. Am I? Look around you. The chaos is just the beginning. You need to decide, Marcus. Protect her, or watch everything you love get destroyed. The truth crashed down around him, crushing his chest. Everything he believed shattered. His past, his lineage, and the very essence of who he thought he was. As silence hung like a heavy fog, filled with the aftermath of Nathaniel's revelation, Marcus felt the weight of fate pressing in. Should he run? Fight? Every option felt impossibly tethered to an unending spiral of danger and dark secrets yet to come. But before Marcus could make a choice, a low rumble filled the air, a darkness coiling in the distance. Something was coming, and it wasn't just the gathering storm of past enmities. It was a frightening new reality, threatening to pull everything he held dear into an abyss. Lily, we need to, his voice caught, hanging in the air as he realized the danger was closer than he ever imagined. Then a cry shattered the night. It rang out, echoing off the trees, but what it belonged to he couldn't sense. His heart thudded in his chest. The very future they sought to protect teetered on the brink. Is it too late? Marcus breathed, feeling the heaviness of destiny closing in, a moment teetering on the edge, waiting for someone to tip the scales. The world tilted, caught in a moment frozen by the explosive truth Nathaniel had just revealed. As fear and dread filled the air, the sound of chaos erupted again, but Marcus couldn't focus. His mind spun wildly, wrestling with the implications of Lily being a weapon, the key to a power struggle without end. Panic clawed at him. Lily, don't listen to him, he shouted, trying to hold on to the innocence in her eyes. But Nathaniel's words echoed, intertwining with doubt. Then, suddenly, a blinding light burst through the darkness, illuminating everything in a ghostly glare. A helicopter hovered above them, its spotlight sweeping across the scene, casting grotesque shadows on the faces around them. Get inside, the FBI agent shouted over the din, urgency in her voice as she waved them toward the car. We have to move now. But before they could react, a powerful blast erupted from the chopper, sending everyone reeling. The air filled with smoke, acrid and choking. Marcus stumbled, instinctively putting his arms around Lily to shield her. Marcus, she cried, terror lacing her voice. Through the haze, a figure emerged, moving toward them through the chaos. It was another woman, fierce and determined, with eyes that glinted like steel. She turned her gaze toward Nathaniel, resentment boiling in her stance. Sam, Nathaniel barked, surprising Marcus. Why are you here? Because you can't keep her, she shot back, drawing a gun from her waistband. Not anymore. Marcus's pulse raced. Sam, who was she? He could barely think as the intensity rose. What are you talking about? Before anyone could answer, the helicopter's spotlight fell on them, illuminating the tension. In a rush of panic, Marcus grabbed Lily's hand. We need to go. But just as they turned to flee, a scream pierced the smoke, a raw sound cutting through the fear. From the shadows, Alina staggered forward, blood staining her clothes. Stop! Don't leave me, she gasped, eyes wild. Time froze, the scene blurred as Marcus's heart plummeted. Alina, how had she survived? What are you doing here? He yelled, disbelief crashing through him. Because she's my daughter, Alina screamed, voice trembling with desperation. The ground fell away beneath Marcus. What? The world spun, his mind reeling. No, that's impossible, but Alina staggered closer, pain etched into her features. Marcus, listen, I had to hide it. I had to protect her. They would have killed us both. The revelation struck him like a bolt. You lied to me, he shouted, anguish laced in every word. You let me believe I wasn't her father. I did what I had to do, her voice cracked, to keep you both safe. Around them, the chaos throbbed, the helicopter still hovering ominously as shouts rang out. But all Marcus could see was Lily's trembling face, confusion and fear layered within her innocence. What's happening? She whispered, her small body trembling beside him. Lily, listen, Marcus pleaded, his heart filled with desperation. It's not you they want. It's both of us. We're in danger, but... Alina's eyes widened, fear twisting her features. Marcus, behind you, a roar of gunfire erupted, cutting through the night. Marcus turned just in time to see Nathaniel advance, his eyes blazing with fire. Enough of this, he snapped. The legacy ends tonight? In a split second, chaos exploded. The helicopter's rotors churned faster, the air vibrating with tension. Elena Dove barely avoiding Nathaniel's shot. "Protect Lily." She shouted as she hit the ground. "Get down." Marcus yelled, pushing Lily behind him. He could feel the darkness swell, the truth unraveling around them. And just when it seemed everything was lost, something snapped within him. In that second, Marcus realized he had to fight for his daughter, for the family he never knew he had. With a fierce clarity, he stepped forward, ready to confront the storm brewing in front of him. But as he took that step, a sudden gasp echoed through the air. "Wait!" A voice cried out, and from the shadows another figure stepped forward. This time Marcus couldn't believe his eyes. "Mom," he whispered, shock blanketing him as he stared at the woman before him. The mother he thought he had lost years ago stood alive, veiled in secrets. "Marcus, I'm here," she said softly, arms outstretched. "I've come to save you." The world around him twisted. Relationships redefined, pasts colliding, futures rewritten. As the night descended deeper into chaos, everything he believed shattered. And with more questions than answers, he wondered if they would indeed escape the clutches of their legacy or fall victim to it. The world around Marcus trembled as he stared at the woman he thought he'd lost forever. "Mom!" His throat felt tight, disbelief twisting within him. "Marcus, I'm here," she said softly, urgency lining her voice. "I've come to save you." The shock had barely settled when the night erupted again. A deafening roar filled the air. The helicopter's searchlight flared brighter, illuminating the chaos unfolding before them. Bullets cracked against metal, and the air hummed with a sense of dread. "Mom, you can't be here. They'll find you." Marcus felt a grip of icy fear clutching his heart. But just as she took a step forward, a blast of light from the helicopter revealed another figure lurking in the shadows. A wiry man, his face twisted with rage, emerged from the dark, a sniper rifle in hand. "Get down!" someone shouted as the man took aim. "Elena!" Marcus barked, pushing Lily to the ground, adrenaline surging through him. In an instant, shots rang out. Bullets echoed, their sharp cracks mixed with screams. And just like that, the world fractured. Marcus watched in horror as his mother shielded him, taking a hit meant for Lily. She crumpled to the ground, her eyes wide, a gasp escaping her lips. "No!" Marcus screamed, throwing himself toward her. He knelt beside her, heart pounding in disbelief. "Mom, no, why did you do that?" Tears sprung to his eyes, blurring the scene around him. Lily was beside them, her small hands shaking. "Mommy, Mommy." She cried, a raw wail cutting through the chaos as she clung to Elena's side. "I'm sorry, Marcus," Elena whispered, blood seeping from her side as she struggled to speak. "They're coming for you for her. It's more than just the family rivalry, you have to know." Her voice wavered, growing weaker. "Know what?" But before she could finish, the sniper fired again. A bullet whizzed past, grazing Marcus' arm. The sharp pain pulled him into focus. "We have to go," he shouted, desperation lacing his voice. Just then, another figure emerged from the chaos. A young girl, dressed in black, with piercing blue eyes. She was holding something, a small drone hovering eerily in the night. "Stop!" she shrieked, her gaze locked onto Lily. "You can't take her." "Who are you?" Marcus gasped, his heart racing as he scrambled to his feet. "I'm her sister." The girl yelled, stepping closer, but her voice carried an echo of something darker. "She must stay here." "She doesn't belong with you." Lily looked between them, confusion wrinkling her brow. "Sister? What do you mean?" Before anyone could respond, the girl thrust the drone up, and it whirred ominously, hovering above them, lights flickering. "You don't understand what she is, what you both are." Then, with a flourish, the girl pressed a button. The drone emitted a piercing sound, an eerie frequency that vibrated through Marcus' bones. Suddenly, memories crashed over him, glimpses of a past that clashed with everything he thought he knew. Visions of experiments, bright labs, and a family legacy twisted by betrayal spread like wildfire in his mind. "Marcus, remember," the girl urged, her eyes wild, as if she held the key to unlocking everything. "You're one of us." Time stopped, his heart raced. "What do you mean?" But just then, Nathaniel reemerged from the darkness, a sinister grin forming on his lips. "How lovely, the family reunion is complete. You didn't know, did you?" The twins, such a powerful pair. They've always coveted that bloodline. Mouth dry, Marcus stared at Nathaniel, then at the girl. Was it possible? Could Lily really be? But before he could finish the thought, the girl's eyes softened, fear creasing her brow. No, I won't let him take her. Marcus! With a decisive move, she threw her hand out, and the drone exploded in a flash of light, a deafening crash filling the air. The ground erupted in chaos. Marcus shielded Lily as debris rained down, hearts pounding, everything spinning out of control. Then a blinding flash swallowed the scene, and Marcus lost sight of everything, including the one thing that anchored him, Lily. When the light faded, he took a sharp breath, feeling an icy grip close around his throat. Where was she? Panic surged anew. Lily! He screamed, the ground shaking beneath him as darkness enveloped his view. And then all went silent. What had just happened? What secrets lay hidden, waiting to claw their way into the light? Lily's screams shattered the air, sending adrenaline rushing through Marcus as he fought to focus. Panic clawed at the edges of his vision. Lily! He yelled, frantically scanning the chaos. All he could see was confusion. Elena lay motionless, blood soaking the ground around her. The drone explosion had left a swirling haze, the world around him flickering in and out of clarity. The sniper was still firing, and Nathaniel's men were creeping closer, shadows against the chaos. Get behind me, he shouted, ushering Lily to safety, but she pulled away, eyes wide with fear, searching for answers. Where's my mom? Where is she? All he could do was feel the weight of his own helplessness. I don't know, he gasped, panic flooding his chest, but he couldn't show that. He had to be the protector. Stay close. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw the girl, the one who claimed to be Lily's sister. You can't take her, she yelled, stepping between Marcus and Nathaniel, face set with fierce determination. Move aside, you don't understand what's at stake. Nathaniel commanded, his voice a snarl. The girl squared her shoulders. I know exactly what's at stake. You want to use her for your own gain. I can't let that happen. Lily's confusion deepened, tears cascading down her cheeks. What is happening? Am I really? Before she could finish, the gunfire rang out again, but this time they shot above their heads. We need cover, shouted the FBI woman. Follow me. In a blur, Marcus grabbed Lily's hand and sprinted behind a nearby tree, heart racing. The girl followed, her eyes wide but resolute. Lily, listen, you're part of something bigger, a legacy that can change everything. No, Lily cried, fear twisting her sweet face. Just stop. But the urgency was palpable. As they crouched behind the tree, Marcus felt a swell of anger and protectiveness. I'm going to get you out of this, I promise. The shadow of the helicopter loomed over them, a dark presence that lingered. You can't escape the truth, Marcus. Nathaniel yelled, voice echoing against the night, filled with threats and despair. But just before the tension shattered, an explosion erupted from the direction of the sniper. A flash, a blast, and in an instant, the air cleared, revealing chaos. From the smoke, a group of agents charged forward, guns raised, focused on Nathaniel. Get down, FBI, boomed their leader, a sharp officer with determination etched on his face. Relief washed over Marcus amid the chaos. The FBI had arrived. You're safe now, he reassured Lily as they emerged into the clearing. But even as they ran, Marcus felt the heaviness of the truth still hanging in the air. Secrets, lies, the legacy that connected them felt richer than anything he had ever known. As they sprinted toward the agents, the sounds of the battle melted into a jumble of shouting and chaos. Lily, stay with me, he shouted as they pushed through the thickening crowd. Suddenly, Nathaniel surged from the shadows, determined. You'll regret this, Marcus. You can't take her away. Enough, the FBI agent boomed, pushing forward and aiming his weapon at Nathaniel. The standoff was tense, the air electrified with danger. But as Lily looked up at Marcus, fear brimming in her eyes, anger flared within him. You won't take her from me? Nathaniel hesitated, a flicker of doubt crossing his face. It was a moment, a sliver of humanity in a man lost to darkness. You can't protect her. She is meant for greatness. She is meant for a life of choice. Marcus shouted, fury boiling up from a place deep inside him. Not to be used as a pawn in your twisted game. Just then, the night erupted into more chaos as sirens blared, lights flashing. With a sudden movement, the FBI agents began to apprehend Nathaniel, fighting to take back control. Go, take her. One agent yelled to Marcus as they wrestled Nathaniel to the ground. We'll handle this. Lily, let's go. He grasped her hand tightly, pulling her away from the chaos that continued behind them. They stumbled into the safety of a waiting vehicle, the door slamming shut behind them. Where are we going? Lily asked, looking up at him with wide eyes. A safe place, I promise, he said, his voice steady. We'll figure this out together, you're safe now. As they drove away, Marcus felt the tension release a little. But questions still swirled relentlessly in his mind. They were no longer just father and daughter. Their lives intertwined deeper than he could comprehend. It's just the beginning, isn't it? He murmured, gazing out the window at the rushing scenery, each passing moment whispering of secrets yet to unfold. The night had shifted, and though their future was uncertain, they would face it together. All they had now was each other. That's when his phone buzzed vibrantly, an unknown number flashing on the screen. An urge pulsed through him to answer. He glanced at Lily, her eyes still searching his, and he hesitated. In that instant, the lingering darkness felt omnipresent, a foreboding whisper echoing around them. What secrets waited to be uncovered? What dangers loomed on the horizon? With his finger hovering over the screen, he realized one thing. The story was far from over. Before you go, I need you to listen closely. You must subscribe now to the channel so you don't miss the next exclusive stories. Click the like button now to feed the algorithm and help these incredible stories reach more fans just like you. Flood the comments section with your reactions and theories about this shocking ending. Share this video instantly with at least 5 friends who need to know how it all ends. Now's the time to show your support. Don't wait another second to share this. Thank you for being part of our amazing community.